What are you doing? Want to go in? The job of a professional doorman for cats is never ending. Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Today is Monday. It is June 1st, 2021. We had a lot of sunshine earlier today. Actually, the sun was out pretty good. And now we're getting a little more overcast, as you can see. But these things do happen. All right, I got an interesting one here today for you. But really quickly, I'm going to mention my website really quick before we start the video, just to put it out there. On my website, preppernurse1.com, we are still doing the Legacy Freeze-Dried Food Sale. That sale will be ending on the 6th of June, okay? If you go to my website, preppernurse1.com, you click on store, it will drop down, you will see Legacy Foods, you click on that. You can make a purchase there of anything that we have available. When you check out, you will save yourself 20%, okay? So definitely take advantage of that. The sale again is going to be ending on June 6th, and that's going to be midnight West Coast time. So it's actually going to be the 7th East Coast time at 3 in the morning, okay? So gluten-free options available. It is GMO-free, and also it is vegan. There are meat options available with beef and chicken that you can buy separately. Also, there is, let's see, 25-year shelf life. It's made in the USA, and it is the largest portion size of any of the other freeze-dried food companies. So just wanted to put that out there real quickly. Okay, let's get into this video. All right, JBS SA, all right? They are a huge meat packing company based out of Brazil, all right? Over the weekend, they have had some cyber attacks happen with their computers and stuff like that. These attacks are increasing, guys. A lot more attacks happening. So what is the effect of these cyber attacks? All right. So I'm going to give you an example. This company, 50% of their business is in the USA. All right. They do $40 billion of business per year in the USA. And I just wanted to read this one part here. Hold on a second. Okay. The 5 biggest plants in the U.S. that handle 22,500 cattle a day has been shut down. So I want you to think about that. Right now, they're not in production. They're not taking care of the meat, and this is a group that is taking care of that many people per day, or cattle that per day. 22,500 head of cattle a day. Nothing's going through right now. Okay. It also has affected Canada, up in Calgary. They do 30% of Canada's federally inspected beef. They're shut down for the 2nd day in a row now as well. No production happening up there. It's also down in Australia. All right. So where the U.S. makes up 50% of this company's business, New Zealand and Australia make up 4% respectively, and Canada makes up 3% of their business. But when you're having large portions of your beef not being processed, not being put out into the market, it definitely affects things. It definitely affects the cost of things, and it's going to jump the prices of beef up exponentially. All right, unbelievable that this again is continuing to happen. Now, they're saying there's 40 different food companies that have had this ransomware cyber attacks for companies since May of 2020. Okay, that's reported. It is they're saying that it's probably more. So there's more of these cyber attacks going on than is actually being reported. But that's 40 different food companies that have been attacked with this ransomware. Okay, this is big, guys. So the company that this JBS in the U.S., it's 1/5 of all of the U.S. production of beef right now shut down. And you may say, well, that's not, too bad or whatever, but that definitely is going to affect everything, and the trickle-down effect always ends up affecting the customer, always, okay? Because, there's going to be shortages, there's not, if you're not taking care of that production of cows on a daily basis, there's definitely going to be issues. Let's see. Yeah, it has shut down all its North American components. So, I mean, everything in North America for this JBS has been shut down in North America. So, let's see. Yeah, I'm looking at my notes here. Hold on 1 second. I got to take my glasses off so I can see better. All right. So JBS SA is the largest meat producer. So they have been, like I said, they basically problems in Australia. They're not producing beef down there. They're not producing beef in the U.S. They're not processing it up in Canada. I don't know about New Zealand at this point, but it's definitely affecting, their orders and stuff like that with these attacks on the billing and stuff like that for customers and everything like that. So big issues, man. Big issues. And I want you guys to think about this, okay? We just had, 3 weeks ago, the attack on the pipeline, right? The cyber, well, it was actually on the computers for that oil company. But these things are not slowing down. They're continuing, and they're continuing to ramp up. Is it being done to cause chaos? Is it being done to raise prices, to cause shortages and stuff like that? Absolutely, that's probably part of the reason. But again, when you cause shortages and you cause issues, you cause chaos. And so ultimately, whoever's doing this, they want chaos, We have a very, very fragile system, and I think a lot of people keep forgetting how fragile the system is, and unfortunately, how reliant we are on the power grid. That's a scary thing. It's a very, very scary thing, and people need to be paying attention, because these are definitely things that can affect us directly, financially, and everything else. So pay attention to these things, guys. It is definitely something that is not a good thing at all. But I definitely wanted to talk about this topic because I think it's something that again, everything affects everything, okay? So when you're having these cyber attacks, and think about it, 40 reported cyber attacks on food companies since May of 2020. 40. That was reported. And they're saying that it's probably more, because they're saying that some of them have probably gone unreported. All right? Unbelievable. So I wanted to talk too really quickly about the garden and stuff like that, guys. And I wanted to share a couple thoughts with you. I wanted to share some things with you. So today, Becky and I went over to a local greenhouse, and we were talking with the people over there, and they've only been doing their greenhouse, I guess, for about 4 years. And actually, I was looking at their setup, which was pretty cool. I like how they had their setup. So that's what I'm looking at, all that type of stuff. But we had picked up, while we were there, we picked up iceberg lettuce. So we grabbed some of those. Those are going to get planted in here. And then we also picked up some peppers. A couple, just 8 more peppers, because this is all the peppers that we had that came up that worked for us. So what the people were telling us was that every year when they got started and they started doing stuff, it was a learning experience. This year for us here at the homestead was a learning experience with growing from seed for the first time ever. And so some successes, some failures, obviously. And so the tomatoes obviously did fantastic. We got a ton of tomatoes out here. We have a bunch more inside as well. The watermelon did absolutely fantastic. That came up really, really well with no issues whatsoever at all. Some of the squash and the cucumbers, we had some success there, some failures, and you know, that's going to be part of it. That's how it goes. But and these are doing really, really well. But you know, so the, over here, this is broccoli and cauliflower on this side. Becky ended up going and buying those at that same greenhouse because they did not do well in our greenhouse this year. So what the people said was, you know, don't get discouraged, that everything is a learning experience and you figure out what works and doesn't work, and those type of things. So that really does make a whole lot of sense. And so, but that's how it goes. That's how you learn. And that's why, once again, I will continue to encourage people. Now, our marigolds, these are here, some of the marigolds at the ends there, okay? They've all done fantastic. They grew really, really well. And so they did great this year. So we had no issues with the marigolds either. But I'm going to encourage you all to practice, figure out what works, what doesn't work. Then you would tweak things. So I had some long-term seeds that I've had for several years, okay? And we had minimal success with those seeds. They did not do well at all, okay? And so I really don't remember how long I've had those seeds. Probably longer than I think I've had them. And so they were no longer viable. They were no longer good. So those are things that you definitely want to figure out what works, what doesn't work now. Think about the fact that post-event happens and you have all these seeds that you've stored up and that you've saved up, and you're like, okay, we're good to go. And then you plant those seeds, and because they are beyond the date when they're going to be any good anymore, they don't work. You don't want that to be your life and death decision, okay? I would encourage people to, you know, rotate your seeds. Try to harvest seeds from your own gardens if you can, and do those type of, I'm just fixing these while I'm talking. You know, harvest your own seeds from your own garden if you can do that. Really, really smart to do. Work out the bugs. Working out the bugs, figuring out what works and what doesn't work, really, really makes a difference. And remember, when it comes to growing, 90% of growing is the soil. The soil is always going to be the key. All right. So just a few extra things I wanted to share. I want to hear your feedback, guys, about JBS. What do you think of the fact that now another huge company has gone under a cyber attack and they are shut down at the moment because they can't do billing and all that type of stuff? So a lot of problems. Things are not going to get better. I don't see that. I see more of these attacks happening, and it definitely is going to affect things. I would encourage you, get your gardens, get them growing, get as much food production as you possibly can. These are all our potatoes. We're going to have a ton of potatoes this year. I'm really excited about the potatoes. So anyway, I will talk to you all later. I will be doing a second video later today, so definitely look for that. Remember, guys, we are all in this together. That is important to remember. Also remember to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day, tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important that we tell the people that we love every day how we feel. Last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you are trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that can stop you from reaching those goals is you. That's it. Nobody else can stop you. Stay positive, stay away from the negativity, and you'll be just fine. All right. I will see you all later today. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you had, a good day of remembrance yesterday. And I will see you all later. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.